Luca, did this magically change anything? There's a chance. That could be the main out. That is kind of what we need. Testing. Kieran, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
United States Congressman Mike Thompson, representing California's 4th District, is a parent supporter of the Sonoma Stompers.
Yeah, you can hear me? Okay.
Wait,
let's
does
go.
this raise the level or no? Did that change from the level of my voice, bumping that up?
Longtime Sonoma natives Veronica Perez and Carlos Rubio listened to the community's hearing, social food, and responded by opening
The Stompers control their own destiny in the CCL North playoff race. It's heating up with just 3 regular season games left to play. And that starts tonight winning in against the San Francisco Seagulls here on Friday night at Arnold Field. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli, getting you set for, we've said it a couple of times now, the biggest matchup of the year. The last one in the season series decided between San Francisco and Sonoma. But much more importantly, if the Stompers get a win today, they'll go dancing for the 2nd year in a row. What's the key to the game, Roman? Let's start out hot.
Yeah, the Stompers just need to, you said it there, start out hot, but also just go play your game. The Seagulls, not a fantastic team in the North, but a team that's proven to be scrappy and just love to play spoilers here. They beat the Stompers just a couple days ago on Wednesday. That was down in San Bruno. A game that the Stompers just didn't have their best stuff. Left 16 runners on base, and we've talked about that being a key to the Stompers' success all season long, but that one really hurts. You wish you had it back. Doesn't matter. You have to move on. Can't be looking in the rearview mirror. Go out, get one tonight, clinch a spot, and then look for the 1 seed in the coming days.
How do you take the positives away from yesterday's out-of-league walk-off victory instead of a real tough go of things Wednesday?
Yeah, you just got to, keep a short-term memory here. You put together good quality at-bats against the Tigers. That's a competitive team. Saw some good pitching there. Charlie Malton, the Stompers got 3 on their own guy. They should know him pretty well, and they were able to hit him around the park a little bit. And then even guys like Smaglick and Borman, even Vassell in the extra innings. Good pitching there. The Stompers were able to scrap it together, put together quality at-bats. That's the name of Zach Pace's game. Quality at-bat after quality at-bat. Play the small ball, move up on the 90s, do all the right things. They're going to get a good start from Sean McBroom, as they always do. Need to take advantage of it early on.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big one on the pitching side. They're going up against Ethan Johnson. He's a two-way guy, Kings Academy High School, on his way to Missouri, but that's as a pitcher. So that's going to be a big one for him. He's really, really struggled. 14 ERA in 5 games.
Yeah, and you see a two-way guy, you don't always know what you're going to get, but the Stompers can't worry about who's on the bump. Just go find a pitch to hit, attack early in the zone. We've seen just a couple stints this season of the Stompers being really consistent about swinging first or second pitch, hunting fastballs early. They need to do that today because, Johnson, not a guy whose specialty is to pitch. He's primarily a catcher. Need to focus on just getting a pitch in the zone, not worrying about trying to hit it 400 feet. Just put it in play. The good things will happen.
Yeah, so let's look at the Stompers lineup. This is what we wanted. Nick Sebastiani is back. He's missed now. What's it getting towards? That was a 3-week. July 3rd is when he ran into the wall. Took a knee injury in that one. So he's back. He's slotted right back in the 3-hole. He had a hit in 6 out of 7 going into that injury. How do we get that Nick back?
Yeah, he's got to go up there, hunt pitches, take quality at-bats. Don't try to jump into being immediately who you were when you got hurt. Not easing your way in. I mean, there's not enough runway left in the season to ease yourself in, but go up there, find a pitch to hit. Don't try to do too much, whether it's starting with just seeing some pitches in that bat, maybe not an early swing, an immediate swing. You just got to go out there and look for quality at-bats, put the ball in play.
I really like the 9-hitter, Gabe Tapia, 2 for 5 with an RBI and a bunt. That was in Wednesday's game, one of the few bright spots in a day where Sonoma left 16 runners on down in San Francisco. I think he's big out of the 9 spot, and McBroom obviously sort of know what you're going to get. 99 hit by pitches, Roman. I'm going to throw this one more time in league action. What's your prediction for who's going to get number 100?
Yeah, tough to say. I'm going to say Xander Silkin in the 4-hole. I think Stompers get it going in the bottom of the first, and he takes one. His welcome to Sonoma. We've mentioned you're not a Stomper till you get hit by one. He gets it in the 4-hole.
I asked Zach Pace that question. He had the exact same answer.
Love it.
You and Skip on the same page on Silkin. And now let's wrap up shop here. Roman's radar will start with the visiting San Francisco Seagulls. Take a look behind enemy lines. I mean, there's a lot of names that jump out of this roster and a couple new ones that really showed out on Wednesday.
Yeah, the new guys have all bought in. Would love to give them some attention, but it's going to be Max Handren. I mean, he's the everyday 2-hole hitter. I was thinking about it. We haven't talked about him much in Roman's radar. The dude's hitting almost 400, 27 hits in a very limited stint with Sonoma. He got the day off yesterday. A super fresh Max Handren. I can't think of anything better for Sonoma.
Yeah, half of his 16 games that he's played here have been multi-hit games. How do you like those for numbers? Stompers, I mean, the hit line on him is 1 or more every single day. Let's look at the Seagulls side. Caden Victorian, more of a new player. Jackson Burr does his damage day in, day out against Sonoma, but a couple familiar faces in there as well. Who do you like on Mark Caviglia's crew?
Yeah, we're going to go all the way down to the 7-hole. Derek Waldvogel has put together a couple nice games against Sonoma, as well as just some good at-bats, hitting 250 hits, 19 hits, a pair of doubles as well. Down lower in the order, got a chance to do some damage. Big RBI spot in the later innings. They're going to need him to pull spoiler once again on Sonoma.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up the pregame show today. There's out-of-town scores to look at when we return. The Crawdads and the Blues are winning, not what you want to see if you're a Sonoma fan, but only one thing matters. You take care of business today. You live to see tomorrow with an X next to your name in the standings. That means the Stompers would have clinched. Sonoma tries to head to the postseason for the second consecutive season when we return with the lineups and the first pitch on the Sonoma Stompers broadcast network. It's winning in baseball in front of a packed house of Stomper fans here at Arnold Field in Sonoma. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli, getting you set for what could be the day that the Stompers mark as clinch day here in 2025. A win secures a spot in the CCL North playoffs, and Sean McBroom is the man on the hill to try and do it. The 5'9", 182-pound righty, transferring from Los Medanos College to San Marcos, the 20-year-old from Antioch makes his fourth start. 4 earned runs over 11 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts to just 4 walks. He faces a 9-25 Seagulls team, but that's a team that's stolen 3 games from the Stompers this season, the 7th meeting with the series locked at 3 apiece. Sonoma enters 22-15, coming off a loss to these Seagulls on Wednesday. They did win an out-of-league game yesterday, tied with the Slow Blues atop the CCL North standings. And this is a lineup that Sean McBroom goes up against. The shortstop, Caden Victorian, leads off. The second baseman, Alan Ramirez, hits second. The pitcher and the DH tonight's Ethan Johnson in the 3-hole. The catcher, Carson Chavez, cleans it up, followed by the center fielder, Josh Hansen. The first baseman, Jackson Bird. The right fielder, Derek Waldvogel, hits 7th. The third baseman, Finn Whalen, 8th. And the left fielder, Mac Galvin, rounds out the 9 against the righty McBroom, who's throwing to Connor Pulowski. The Stompers in their home white uniform, Stompers in Navy script across the front with Navy numbers on the back, orange numbers on the front, and of course the orange brims on the hats. Cage Cansones is going to go coach first base for the Seagulls. They wear their baby blue road uniforms, more of a deep sea blue. Seagulls in black script across the front. Nick Escalara coaches at third base.
Now batting for the San Francisco Seagulls, shortstop number 20, Caden Victorian.
McBroom out of the windup, stares into Connor Pulowski with Caden Victorian in from the right side. Away we go under the Friday night lights here in Sonoma. First pitch comes in at 6:12, an overcast day here in wine country. Not beautiful, clear Sonoma day as we're used to seeing as McBroom misses outside. 1-1. Stompers 22-15. They're 12-9 playing here at Arnold Field. The Seagulls 9-25 as that one's high. 2-1, says the home plate umpire Dean Poteet. Gary Frieders helps him at first base. Ron Materi over at third. Seagulls on the other end 5-14 away from home. This one's line foul back to the screen, 2-2.
And 2 of those are here at Arnold Field. I mean, talk about a third of their wins are against Sonoma, 2 of which away from San Bruno. It feels like the Seagulls have had the Stompers number at some really inconvenient times for Sonoma.
Yeah, McBroom, a 5-pitch pitcher, comes home with a slider and misses low and away. Fastball comes in around 85 miles an hour. Everything else is under 80. That's a curveball, a changeup, a slider, and a sweeper. So he's going to throw the kitchen sink at you, and he throws a fastball by Caden Victorian to start the ball game.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
One away.
Williams photo booth is right behind the visitors' dugout. Come to the photo booth.
That brings up Alan Ramirez, the second baseman out of San Jose State.
Now batting, second baseman number 7, Alan Ramirez.
Ramirez swings first pitch, bounces it to Handren on the backhand, long throw across the diamond in time. 1 pitch retires Alan Ramirez, and the third base defense from Max Handren continues to dazzle.
Now batting, pitcher number 16.
Handren fields that on the backhand and just fires a dart across the diamond. First pitch to Johnson is a ball, I think, says Dean Poteet. That's a very close pitch. Johnson, he might want that call when he's out on the mound in the bottom of this inning. He hits a high chop to first. Lazul backs uphill, underhand to Sean McBroom. 1, 2, 3, go. The Seagulls in the first. The Stompers look to give the home fans something to cheer about when the offense comes up in the bottom half scoreless on the Sonoma Stompers broadcast network. Winning in baseball here at Arnold Field in Sonoma. Sean McBroom retired the Seagulls in order, and now he faces, well, his offense faces the guy that got the last out of the top of the first, Ethan Johnson, a two-way high schooler, just 18 years old from San Jose, made 8 appearances for Kings Academy. He's on his way to play at Missouri, but that's as a catcher slash first baseman only. They're throwing him out on the hill today. He's made 5 appearances, all of them out of the bullpen, all of them in June, and he's given up a whole bunch of earned runs. 14 ERA over 7 2/3, 11 walks to 9 strikeouts from him. The Stompers have to be uber patient, drive up that pitch count, get in the bullpen, and try and get a crooked number in the first.
Yeah, it's just important for Sonoma here to not, get complacent with, he's not a pitcher that we see all the time. It's not their ace or anything like that. Go win a ball game, put the ball in play. It doesn't matter who's on the bump. Need to score runs tonight.
Johnson, a righty, comes home to Meaden, a righty, and it's a called strike 1. A pitch in there for a called strike 2. Meaden watches back-to-back fastballs, both of them at 83 miles an hour. The Stompers won't be seeing a lot of velocity. Meaden, it's a line drive into right field, base hit. Quinn swings the bat, and he's aboard to start the ball game. That's a beautiful piece of opposite field hitting. Maybe Zach Pace has found his new leadoff guy for what we're hoping is more than just 2 more games.
That's a great poke there from Meaden. A pitch low, a little bit out, just threw the barrel at it, shoots it over the second baseman Ramirez's head, and that's a great way to get aboard to lead off the bottom of the first.
Hendren takes way up high. Max, a left-handed hitter who's finished up his very illustrious collegiate career, including 3 different schools, St. Bonaventure, Santa Rosa Junior College, and Cal Berkeley. He swings here and cranks one deep to right. You can forget about that baseball. The Stompers jump out in front 2-0, courtesy of Max Hendren. That ball was annihilated by the Stomper third baseman, 350 feet. Don't throw the ball over the plate to the bad man, Max Hendren.
Now we're just 2 batters into this one, but that might just be Stomp Watch of the year there. Max Hendren, damage on the only pitch he sees, crushed that baseball.
We need to ban him from Stomp Watch. He gets multiple hits every single game, Roman.
I can't say that I don't know that we've even picked him once. We had to get him at least one time. He took advantage of it.
He's my Stomp Watch player every day. Nick Sebastiani, welcome back from injury, and he takes a called strike 1. Sebastiani, on July 3rd, playing left field, ran into the wall and injured his knee. That was 22 days ago. He was a scorching hot hitter going into that injury. We'll see how he comes out of it. He takes inside. That's a breaking ball from Johnson, a slider. The count's 1-1. Sebastiani, 286. He was really swinging it well. 1-1, outside corner, called strike. 286 hitter, 446 on base. He had a double, a triple, and 4 home runs. He's now just 1 in front of Max Handren after that slam. That one's hit a ton to center, but Hansen has a beat on it. Ranging into the gap, he reaches up and makes the catch. That's a good sign. That's 98 miles per hour off the bat. That's a good swing, and quick out of the box was Sebastiani. Positive to take from an L8. That's the first out retired by Johnson.
Yeah, that ball not hit softly there, just to what's really the deepest part of this ballpark. I mean, on the line it was at, it would need to go nearly 400 feet to get out. That's a good swing of the bat to get back into CCL play.
Now that brings up Xander Silken. He is the cleanup hitter today. 1 for 3 with a double. That was Wednesday in San Bruno, a 7-4 victory for the Seagulls. They scored the last 7. The pitch to Xander stays high. It's a slider. It's fastball, slider, and then an occasional changeup from Johnson. That's a position player mix. Johnson, 18 years old, stares in to get the sign and delivers to Silken, who takes up and outside 2-0. And yeah, that's what you notice. 11 walks in 8 innings, Roman. You have to be patient, hunt your pitch, and then if you're Max Handren and you get it, you can hit it over the wall. Lots of hitting room in left center. Silken hits a broken back ground ball back to Johnson, who fields his position nicely, flips to the bag in time. And Silken needs a new bat, and he is retired.
Well, I guess the 100th hit by pitch for the Stompers will have to wait till Silken's up next.
That brings up Cam Hegeman. 2 for 5 in the leadoff spot. Swing it nicely. 5 hits over his last 2 league games. Hageman looking to keep this first inning alive, beg your pardon, and Cam takes way up high, 1-0. That's a first pitch breaking ball, a slider, and Johnson continues to go to that early in the count.
And it's a nice recovery of the inning for Johnson. You let the first 2 on, including a home run to score on both. You immediately go back in there and get a couple outs.
The pitch to Hageman. That one's lined into left center field. That's a base hit. Going over to cut it off is Hansen, and it's 6 hits in 2+ league games. Cam Hageman coming around at the right time. 18th knock of the season for the Ohlone center fielder.
That came in as an injury replacement. Landon Akers has done a great job in center field. That was the big thing with Landon, but has also put together some really nice at-bats. Moving up and down the lineup, it can be a tough thing. You know, you want stability as a player. You want to know what you can expect walking into the ballpark every day. Cam hasn't had that in the batting lineup, but he's produced pretty much everywhere he is.
Yeah, we've seen him in the 9 spot, the leadoff spot. He's in the 5 spot today, and he already has a knock. As Olympia takes a fastball, that's 83 center cut. Kyle takes, and it's 0-1. Hageman a threat to run. 5 swipes. He's 5 for 7 on the season. Johnson takes a peek over at first. Hageman runs. Olympia pops it up to right field. Waldvogel has a beat on it, battles the sun, and makes the catch. The inning is over. The Stompers jump out to a 2-0 cushion, courtesy of a Max Handren 2-run bomb. We head to the second inning. Sonoma on top of San Francisco 2-0. Right to the top of the second, Sonoma out in front. This one bounced to short. Olympia on the backhand, gets up, throws to first. Kyle Olympia flashes the leather out at shortstop. Nice play to the backhand side. And look, cool, calm, and collected doing it.
That's a heck of a play there from one of the newest Stompers. Goes into a bit of a slide, pops up, picks it on the backhand. That's a really nice play. And a long throw there, put it on the money to Paul Lazul.
That brings up Josh Hansen, a powerful right-handed bat who is trying to take Max Handren's spot in the Cal lineup. And that one's in there for a called strike. McBroom goes first pitch junk, and it's in there. Hansen 357, a 500 on base percentage, a double and a homer. That long ball was here at Arnold Field. This one's hit to Olympia again. Gets an easy hop, gloves, throws, not in time. It's a hustle single for Josh Hansen, flying up the line. Kyle Olympia just a little bit too lackadaisical, fielding that ground ball, hustling out of a box.
And baseball is a really funny game in the way that Kyle Olympia can make a heck of a play a couple of pitches ago in the hole at shortstop, and then just a weak ground ball through the infield ends up as a single right to him.
Runner at first base, that's Hansen. He can fly, as we just learned, and Jackson Bird takes low. Bird, second year in the CCL, a crawdad last season, two-way product. Bird played last year at UC Riverside, open stance from the left side. Powerful left-handed hitter. Runner goes. Pulowski's throw is on the wrong side of second. Olympia with a very nice swipe tag. Instead, it's a stolen base for Hansen. For Josh Hansen, it's just his fourth steal. Bird has 4 hits on the season, and 2 of them were Wednesday against Sonoma. He's 4 for 28. Double 6 driven in. Has a chance to cut this lead in half if he can find the outfield dirt. 1 on, 1 out. McBroom delivers. Bird chops it to second. High hop for Silken, who fires to first to get Bird. He's retired 4-3. To third base goes Hansen. He's now 90 feet away with 2 outs for Derek Waldvogel. 2 for 3, a double and an RBI. See, like everybody doubled on Wednesday against Sonoma.
And that's a tough play for Sonoma there. You get the 4-3 bounce out just after the steal of second base. Could have been an inning-ending double play. Jackson Bird not particularly fast out of the box, but now you got 2. Just got to go worry about the issue in front. That's Derek Waldvogel.
A pitch to Waldvogel, a called strike. Botit, a very slow and deliberate strike call when one crosses the plate in the zone. Chavez grounded out. Hansen beat out an infield single. He's at third with 2 outs. Waldvogel pops it up. Right center. Cam Hegeman in the sun makes the catch. The inning is over. McBroom works around a 1-out single and leaves him stranded at third. We head to the last of the second. Sonoma 2, San Francisco scoreless. Paul Lazul will lead off and take high. 1 ball and no strike. That's the off-speed pitch from Johnson, it looks like. Lazul, Pulowski, and Tapia here in inning number 2. Sonoma would love to make this 4-0, 5-0. Well, no lead is safe. We can talk about that after Johnson's pitch to Lazul, which is hit to right field. Coming on is Waldvog, who's still coming on, and he makes the catch up over his head, coming towards home plate. Lazul's retired. The Stompers jumped out to a 4-0 lead against San Francisco. That was on the road at Tom Lara Field on Wednesday. 4-0 after 2.5, 7-4 final. That was because of a big 4-run third inning for the Seagulls. If Sonoma can add to this 2-run lead, or even if it stays a 2-0 lead, how do they stay locked in at the plate?
Yeah, just continue to be hungry. Don't be complacent. Go out there, find pitches to hit, put them in the gaps, put the ball in play.
Pulowski tries to bunt, and he pulled it back, it looked like. He just started running towards first, but he never made a motion at the baseball. No argument from the Seagulls side of things. They played a chippy one in Alameda yesterday. A couple near ejections from what I heard. Pulowski hits this one to shortstop. Tough hop for Victorian, whose throw low, dug out by Jackson Bird. All that guy does is hurt the Stompers. 6-3 the putout. That brings up Gabe Tapia. Jackson Bird finds some sort of different gear against Sonoma. It's a beautiful pick at first base. Save Victorian an error.
And the Stompers just need to find a way to get him on the roster next year.
Yeah.
Don't let him work against you, work for you.
That brings up Tapia. 2 for 5 on Wednesday is only 2 Stomper hits. Closed stance from the left side. And he swings first pitch and rolls it over to second. Alan Ramirez throws out Tapia by a step, and quietly go the Stompers in the second. We quickly roll to inning number 3. Stompers lead the Seagulls 2-0. Finn Whalen, Mac Galvin, and back to the top in Caden Victorian. That's 8, 9, and 1 for San Francisco. Third inning, Sean McBroom's only allowed 1 hit, and it was an infield single, hustle single from Hanson. And he's ahead of Finn Whalen. 1 ball and no strikes. That's a beautiful slider. Front hip to a right-handed hitter, Whalen. 9 for 48. Tough go for Finn. He pops it foul and out of play. Quickly, 0-2. McBroom, even from the windup, works quickly. I mean, not Devin Laginto quick, as we like to say, but he gets the ball and he's ready to go. Keep these hitters off balance. Whalen, a righty. McBroom, a righty. 0-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. Second strikeout for Sean McBroom. Went back to the slider.
And a couple of really nice Off-speed pitches there from McBroom. A good way to start the inning. Let him see it, but also make them really good ones. Not a confident hitter standing in when you've got that on the bump.
That brings up Mac Galvin, 179 hitter, Canadian. Takes low in and out of the glove of Pulowski. Catch that one coming up. I think you get the call. Instead it kicks off the glove of Connor, and it's ball one below the zone. Galvin pulls this one down the left field line. It's a fair ball, and one hops the wall. Cutting over is Tapia, and he is going to throw it into third base. Double for Mac Galvin. It's his 5th double of the season. Also 12 stolen bases. Watch out if he tries to grab third. A Calgary kid yanks a double down the line, and now McBroom, for the 2nd consecutive inning, has to work with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, that ball blasted down the left field line. It bounced about a foot inside of it. It could have been a really long foul ball, but now 9-hole gets on base, not only on base, in scoring position for the top of the order.
Stompers have struggled mightily against the 9-hole hitter this season. First pitch to Victorian, that's hit very softly into center field. Hegeman goes into a dive, and he makes the catch. Cameron Hegeman takes a base hit away from Caden Victorian. A headlong dive by the center fielder coming towards home plate. I thought that was destined to skip in for a hit. Cam Hegeman says absolutely not.
I mentioned a moment ago that he came in as a defensive first guy to replace Landon Akers, who was a fantastic center fielder in his time with Sonoma. Just a flash of the leather there. I mean, a flash of the wheels, a flash of everything.
So a base hit to the outfield from Ramirez would more than likely score the run, with a runner out at second base and 2 outs. McBroom got Ramirez to ground out on 1 pitch in the first inning. He pops this one up on the infield. McBroom makes the call. Someone better call him off, and it's the second baseman Silken that does. And the side is retired. McBroom wanted that baseball, but his second baseman Xander Silken says, I've got this one. We head to the last of the third. Sonoma still leads by 2. Bottom of the third inning. Stompers lead 2-0 thanks to the man in the on-deck circle. That's Max Handra, and he had a 2-run shot. Quinn Meaden, the leadoff man, takes a ball. Bottom of inning number 3. Ethan Johnson still only at 21 pitches. He misses low to Meaden 2-0, and maybe these are the command issues that we've heard about. Right on right, Johnson sporting the high socks. Pitches to Meaden high, 3-0. If Quinn gets on, he's a guy that can run 2 stolen bases in just 2 games of league action for Sonoma. Speedster out of University of Colorado, Colorado Springs campus. 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 81-mile-an-hour get-me-over. I'd love to see a Stomper swing 3-1. If they get a pitch in the zone, it's not coming more than 83 miles an hour. You can bank on that. If you get a fastball in the zone 3-1, go unleash. 3-1 to Meaden. It's a fastball way inside ball 4. That works just fine if you're Quinn Meaden. We saw Cam Hegeman run early in the count when he got aboard. I mean, Johnson, he's a first baseman catcher. He doesn't have a great pickoff move. We'll see how well he can hold Quinn Meaden.
And probably not the best move from him, but one thing you know he's going to do is get to the plate quickly. Probably a solid slide step. I mean, he knows better than anyone. You got to get it home quickly with a guy with some speed on the bases.
There goes Meaden. What a jump. Handren swings. Right field line. It's off the wall. Handren heads towards second base. Meaden head towards throw. The throw is late. Max Handren goes wall ball double. A couple extra base hits in the first 3 frames for Max, and that's his 9th multi-hit game. It's just inning number 3. Meaden running on the pitch. Not sure why he only made it to third base, but Stompers will take second and third, nobody out.
And Meaden had to pause for a second, making sure it wasn't caught by Waldvogel, but Max Handren just seeing it from Ethan Johnson there. Absolutely crushed that baseball as well. For a second, we thought he had back-to-back. That would have been a crazy one, but hey, he's halfway through a cycle. It's just a 3rd inning.
I don't know if Max is running hard enough for a triple. I think he's pulling up at second. I don't know if the Australian baseball coaches he's going to go play for down under at the end of the season would be happy about that.
Hey, guys playing ball. You want to see that he cares about the game, wants every last base.
Nick Sebastiani a chance to add to his RBI total, low and outside. But first baseman Bird in on the grass. Everyone else is back. Third baseman Whalen now creeping in. Sebastiani had 14 RBIs before his injury. Looking to add a 15th here. Meaden at third, Handren at second, nobody out. The pitch to Sebastiani's low. Great block by Carson Chavez. The Fordham Ram backstop just saved a run. A 2-0 pitch. Sebastiani swings and pops it up. Shallow down the right field line. Waldvogel has a long way to go, and he makes a running catch. Here comes Meaden. Here comes the throw, and he is out. A very aggressive send. Quinn Meaden is thrown out on a perfect throw from Derek Waldvogel. It goes F9, 9-2 double play. Handren takes third base, heads up base running, but what could have been a big inning for Sonoma thwarted early.
Yeah, and that's a send where Dave Hoke's going to wave him every time. Dave Hoke, an aggressive but a very smart third base coach there. A tough one there. Quinn Meaden probably a little bit maybe slower than Hoke imagined there, or just didn't get a great jump off third either way. One Sonoma probably wishes they had back.
Silkin swings first pitch. He lines this one to right, and Waldvogel makes the catch. The Stomper rally is thwarted on just 2 pitches. Second and third, nobody out. The Stomps can't get one across. We'll come back for the top of inning number 4. Sonoma somehow still leads just 2-0. We roll to the 4th inning of play. Stompers still lead it 2-0. Second and third, nobody out. They can't get a run. Sebastiani hits a fly ball to right field. It turns into a 9-2 double play, and now Ethan Johnson tries to help his own cause, and he does it from ahead in the count 1-0. Mick Broom delivers. Johnson hits it foul right to Carson Chavez in the on-deck circle. The pitch is a called strike. Nice pitch. Clips the inner corner. And the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Johnson, Chavez, and Hansen. That one's up and away 2-2. Two home. Bounced foul back to the screen, and the count will hold. Two on the way. Struck him out swinging. Sean McBroom's 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And that brings up Carson Chavez. That's only pitch number 30 for McBroom, and that's the 10th out. McBroom comes home high. And that one hits him on a 1-0 pitch. So Chavez takes first. Another Seagull base run. Now they have someone on 3 consecutive innings.
And McBroom needs to work out of it here. He's done the same the last 2 innings. No issue here. Just keep throwing in the zone. Trust the defense.
Chavez off first base. He was hit by a pitch. McBroom delivers. Outside 1-0. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Walnut Creek Crawdads have won. They sit 1 half game behind the Stompers and the Blues, slow finishing up their ball game down in Conejo. The runner on first is Chavez. The pitch home is a called strike outside edge. One on, one out. Stompers looking to clinch a playoff berth with a victory here today. McBroom picks back to first base, closer play than maybe Chavez would have liked. 2 stolen bases for the backstop. Hansen, a guy that just torches Sonoma, had a home run here last year, had a home run here this year, is in a 1-1 count against McBroom. The offer is high, 2-1. The command not perfectly sharp like it's been in the first 3 innings here from McBroom.
Yeah, and we've seen in his previous starts, it deteriorates a little bit as he goes on, but the pitch count's always around 50, 60. Knows how to manage the count well.
But that's usually when the pitch count hits 40, 50. It's still low here. That was his 36th pitch, and that misses high. Very efficient today.
Yeah, and he does a good job here. Gets the 3-1 call, and now just takes a moment, steps off the bag, takes a deep breath, and needs to get locked back in, but knows how to manage his inaccuracy.
McBroom delivers. This one's popped up. First baseline. Meeting the right fielder going over, and he makes the catch. As he crosses into foul ground, Hansen swings 3-1 and comes up empty. That's just an easy, lazy little fly ball for Meaden, who did have a long way to go, but made it look smooth. It's turning into a great day for Quinn Meaden. He's singled, walked, and was flying out there, gliding into foul ground to make that catch. That brings up Jackson Bird, left-handed hitter. Bird's a pitcher. He knows how to throw someone out of rhythm. McBroom's been standing on the hill waiting to come home. Bird redid his batting glove, spinning his bat out in front of his face, making McBroom wait for him. Now they're both ready, and he swings first pitch and bounces it foul to the Stomper dugout. After all of that, McBroom gets the last laugh. He's ahead 0-1. McBroom looking for his 4th consecutive 0. Second baseman Silken way off the bag. Cold strike 2, late from Potee. It feels like it's just the 4th inning, but the Arnold Field crowd are ready to erupt. Packed grandstand, left field bleachers continue to fill in. 0-2 to Bird is low. Pulowski, you expect nothing less. He blocks it nicely. Travis still at first base. He was hit by a pitch. Now there's 2 away. McBroom set to deliver his 41st pitch of the outing. And he strikes out. Jackson Bird swinging. 4 strikeouts in 4 frames for Sean McBroom. We head to the bottom of inning number 4. The Stompers looking to add to a 2-0 lead. Cam Hageman up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a 2-0 game, and Roman This one looks eerily similar to last time. Sonoma gets the early runs, but cannot add to that lead. And you don't want to be in a spot where you give up another 7 unanswered.
And you had second and third, no outs last inning. You don't score. That is a concerning stat there. You just need to get it back, get going here, and win a ball game.
Two balls and no strikes to Hegeman, and he swings and misses. Two-one pitch on the way to Hegeman, and it's outside. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. Hegeman's a guy where a walk's as good as a hit. He's heading towards second base, and it looks like he might swipe it. He had second base stolen. Last time he was aboard, it was an Olympia swing, made it irrelevant as a third out of the frame. 3-1 to Hegeman. He swings and lines it to center field, and it drops in for a hit. How about that? That's now 3 consecutive multi-hit games for Cam Hegeman. And the Stompers coaches wanted a little bit more out of him after his first few weeks. A lot of strikeout in him, but he's got a lot more discipline at the plate. He's hunting his pitch, and he's hitting it to the outfield just about every time.
And we're seeing from Cam Hegeman what we saw from Anthony Scheffler for a little bit was you have an approach coming into the summer ball, but you struggle a little bit too much swing and miss, and all of a sudden that turns into an adjustment, which is producing late down the stretch. A nice, come around the corner moment for Cam Hegeman.
You think he runs first 2 pitches?
I mean, Johnson on the bump seems ready for it.
There goes Hegeman. The pitch is low. The throw to second is in time. Cam Hegeman can't believe it. Ron Materi comes in and says Hegeman is out on a very close play at second base. So a little too aggressive. That's now 2 outs on the bases in as many innings. The Stompers getting him on, getting him over, and then getting them thrown out.
Yeah, and I mean, they seemed ready for it there. It's a nice throw, a nice tag put down by Victorian. That's a tough way to lose your leadoff runner.
I like the aggression as Olympia takes side 2-0, and maybe with the command as bad as it is, you could have been set up first and second and said, Hegeman singles, he's erased. And Olympia's in a 2-0 count with the bases empty and 1 out. Olympia lines this one into left field. Stompers continue to rack up the hits, but they'd love to add a little bit more. 6th hit for Sonoma. And now you think about Hegeman getting thrown out.
And that's exactly it. I mean, the Stompers are not having an issue putting the ball in play against Johnson here. I think the steal first pitch by Hegeman is pushing the envelope into a spot where you don't need to push it. Just let the game come to you. You're up a little bit. No need to, try to extend it in, a matter of 2 batters. Just continue to hit it around and take quality at bats.
So back-to-back singles, but there's 1 on and 1 out. You wonder if Olympia starts running. They feel like it seems like they see something in Johnson that they like. That one hits Paul Azul in the knob of the bat. It's 0-1. Checked his swing. I thought it hit him in the hand for a second. I think it hit the knob. So unlucky strike 1 for Lazul. Olympia short lead. Now inches further off the bag and a check by Johnson. A half step back for Olympia is all he needs. And before Amy G joins us in the top of a 5th inning, let's talk about the CCL North standings, Roman. The Blues get walked off by the Conejo Oaks. They're now a half game behind the Stompers. The pitch to Lazul low. That one's knocked down by the catcher Chavez, but it's going to be a stolen base for Kyle Olympia. It's not a pass ball. It's not a wild pitch. It's just a great read. Well, it's Olympia's first steal as a Stomper, and maybe they don't have to push the envelope. It'll just come to them. So Now you need to get this third run home. Olympia at second, 1-1 pitch to Lazul with 1 out. Lazul takes at the knees for a called strike. Close pitch. Johnson hasn't struck anybody out up until this point. Lazul can't be the first with a runner in scoring position in less than 2 outs.
Big moment to score the run here. You cannot leave him in scoring position in this spot, otherwise this game's just slowly going to creep into what happened on Wednesday.
Yeah, on Wednesday, Stompers blew a 4-0 lead into a 7-4 loss. Lazul takes low, Chavez blocks, and back to second base goes Olympia. 2-2 now on Lazul. 1 for 3 with a couple of walks in Wednesday's game. He flew out his only at bat today. Infield and outfield straight up. The center fielder Hanson 1 step to the pull side. The 2-2 to Lazul way outside. Filler up 3-2. The Oaks walking off the Blues is big on the out-of-town scoreboard because that sets up a whole bunch of interesting scenarios. The Stompers would go 1 game clear of the Blues if this result holds a Stomper victory. A long way from there. 3-2 pitch on the way to Lazul. Here it is, and he grounds it back up the middle. Victorian perfectly placed. From behind second, he throws out Lazul. To third base goes Olympia. 6-3 the putout.
Now batting out of Thurman University, catcher number 9, Connor Pawlowski.
That brings up Connor Pawlowski. He's the Stompers 2-out RBI leader. 17 runs batted in total this year. Right on right, Johnson against Pawlowski. Swings and misses. Got a fastball, 81 in the zone. And fouled it right into the glove of the catcher, Chavez.
Yeah, Pulaski trying to take that ball to Napa the way he put the swing on it there.
Hitting him up the middle, shortstop Victorian in the hole. Connor chases, that's a breaking ball, and counts 0-2. Stompers got 2 in the first, courtesy of a Max Antron home run. Since then, nothing. Luckily for Sonoma, Sean McBroom's throwing up 0 after 0, and there's no one behind him in the bullpen. Pitch to Pulaski, low outside. Nice take from Connor, 1-2. Didn't expand the zone with 2 strikes after chasing on the 0-1. Pawlowski sends this one to center. Heading over is Hanson. He has a beat and he makes the play, angling towards the wall in right center. The inning is over. The Stompers with a couple of hits, but another costly out on the bases. Amy G joins us for the top of the 5th with the Stompers leading 2-0.
It's time for YMCA. Now I need everybody to stand up. Everybody's up, and everybody's screaming the YMCA as loud as they can at the appropriate time.
Amy. You only have the bad headsets today.
Oh, fine.
New technical difficulties seemingly every day.
Oh, I know.
So remember,
Can you write out
the
the
YMCA in Sonoma.
Does this go behind your ear? Behind your? Oh,
I wear mine like this. Yeah.
that way. All right.
We're in the throes of the
Not good for
playoff
my hair.
hunt.
Yeah, I know. It's
We
exciting.
have, I don't know, it's fun. It's scoreboard watching like 3 games at a time.
Oh, yeah.
We have a half-game lead. That's a half-game deficit if we lose.
Oh.
But
Well,
we're
it's
in
looking,
the playoffs
looking
if we
good
win.
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened on Wednesday, where we played them in San Bruno. We led 4-0 after 3 and lost 7-4.
Oh.
Amy G joins us in the booth for the second time this season. And well, Amy, you were good luck last time we got a win. Hopefully we can do the same thing tonight. How are you enjoying your second trip to Arnold Field this season?
Oh, we're having a great time and absolutely love what tonight is about, which is women in sports. And just so proud that the Sonoma Stompers wanted to celebrate women in this industry and all that they've accomplished. So big night.
Of course, you got to do your podcast. Girl, how'd you get that gig on the field?
I know.
Before the game in front of some Stompers fans? What was that experience like?
Well, it was our first time on location and first time live in front of an audience. We do try, Celeste, my partner, and I do it from our respective homes in San Jose, where she lives, in Petaluma. So it was really fun to do it in front of a live audience and get some reaction and kind of, vibe off of them and what they wanted to know. And our guest, Alex Oglesby, who's a former professional baseball player and now president of Evolution, a nonprofit that supports girls playing baseball, was the perfect guest. She was so great, local, and so accomplished in the sport, and a trailblazer. So it's what the podcast is all about, and we couldn't think of a better location to do our first one on site.
Yeah, tell us more about how we can catch that podcast. If you don't happen to be at Arnold Field today,
right?
where do you watch that? How often do you post things like that?
Yeah, so actually we post every other week on a network that we're on now called Bay Area Sports Collective. So every 2 weeks there's a new episode, but we have a bunch of episodes in the can on our personal YouTube channel, Girl, How'd You Get That Gig? You can follow us on social. Instagram is at Girl Gig Podcast, and we have interviewed all sorts of different types of jobs that women hold in the sports industry. We really try and run the gamut and diversify from a grounds crew chief to sales for the Houston Rockets, social media, and Jenny Kavanaugh, who announces for the A's. We between Celeste and I and our I hate to say this, like 50 plus years in the industry, when you add our time together, we know a lot of people, and the list is endless as to who we want to put a spotlight on regarding women in the sports industry.
McBroom starts his fifth inning with his fifth strikeout, looking to hold a 2-0 lead for the Stompers. You work with Celeste. You guys have known each other for so long. What's that partnership been like for you?
It's wonderful because I get to work with one of my favorite people again. So Celeste, just a quick background on the content here as to how this podcast got started. Celeste and I worked together at Fox Sports all the way back in 2001. That was nicely done by 29. Yeah.
McBroom now 6 strikeouts as we play here in the 5th.
That's going to be how you get to the playoffs if he keeps pitching like that. But Celeste became my first friend at Fox Sports almost 25 years ago, and they were very limited on female presence, as you can imagine, back then at a large network that was dominated by men. We became friends, stayed friends as our careers took us to different places. Obviously, mine took me to the Giants, and hers took her behind the scenes for some of the biggest events in sports, including World Series, Olympics. Celeste has produced just about everything you can imagine, and so we stayed connected all those years, but we reconnected over a question that we got asked all the time, which was, how did you get your job? And students like yourself would seek us out and find our email and write us, and could you give us some time? And we're like, why don't we turn this question into a podcast and make it a resource available to anyone looking to get in the industry, male or female, but focus it on the women that we've known and that we want to spotlight and show the younger generation coming up, especially the females, like, if you can do this too, because she did it. So it's been very rewarding and inspiring to work with her on the daily and really highlight the accomplishments of trailblazers in the industry.
Here on Women in Sports Night, we're joined by Amy G here for the top of the 5th inning on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. You've obviously been doing this podcast for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
Any guests or memorable episodes or even
sure.
moments that you can
sure.
for us?
I mean, I fangirled out early on when we launched the podcast because Julie Foudy, who was part of the 99ers, and if people know their sports history, that was the U.S. women's national team in soccer who won with Brandy Chastain's amazing penalty kick. And so I've been a fan of that entire team forever, and a mutual friend was friends with her, and she agreed to come on. and I found out her superstition was she wore the same pair of underwear every day. It's a great note to go out on.
Exactly. Amy G, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
this. Again, I know there's a lot of people that want to say hi to you, but thanks so much for taking the time for a second time this season.
Yes, thanks for having us, and go watch Girl, How'd You Get That Gig on YouTube.
We'll plug all of that on the Stompers social media here. Amy, thank you so much. We'll be back for the bottom of the fifth. Sonoma still leads it 2-0. Gabe Tapia takes a strike to start the bottom of the fifth inning. Halfway through our ball game today, the Stompers on top 2-0. Roman Rofelli will take it to the 6th, 7th, and the 8th on the play-by-play after the conclusion of this inning. Hopefully it's with more than a 2-0 lead. The Stompers are playing an eerily similar game to the one they did on Wednesday. Early runs, but nothing to back it up.
I mean, they've held the early run support longer
Yeah,
than
that's
they
true.
did on
That's
Wednesday,
true.
But, I mean, still, you just worry about the complacency here of, oh, it's the last place team in North. Oh, we're up 2-0. It's just not a real comfortable scene for Stomper fans. And if you're the Seagulls, you're hanging around. You just got to wait for them to fall. You got to find a way to get on Sean McBroom.
0-2 pitch. Tapia takes inside 1-2, and our analytics team has come up with a win. The Stompers will be a game clear of the Crawdads and the Blues. With a loss, they'll fall to second place, lose that 1 seed, lose that bye, and no longer control their own destiny. 1-2 pitch. Tapia checks his swing, and he's called out at home plate. That's the first strikeout for Ethan Johnson, who all of a sudden is pitching into the 5th. And that's courtesy of our analytics team that is working tirelessly here down the stretch. I feel like I asked him for the playoff scenarios about 5 times an inning at this rate with all the out-of-town scoreboard watching. Great job that they do to give us those numbers in real time. We know I can't do that math. Meaden, who's been on base twice, is ahead 1-0. Handren hit a 2-run home run. That was on the 6th pitch of the ball game. The Stompers have not scored since then, and that includes 2 outs on the base paths, 1 at the plate and 1 caught stealing at second. 1-0 to Meaden. called strike at the knees. 81 on a fastball. Nice pitch from Johnson. He's around 60 pitches was what they wanted from Johnson. He's at 54. There's no one up in the bullpen with one out in the Stomper fifth. Meaden takes high. 2-1. Quinn singled in the first, walked in the third. He was thrown out at the plate on the Sebastiani sac fly attempt. Meaden takes up and away. 3-1. Close pitch from Johnson there. Poteet tending to give it at the bottom of the zone, not so much up near the top. Three-one pitch. Meaden takes low, ball 4. He's on base for the third time today. Quinn Meaden has been outstanding at the top of the lineup, a new addition out of Colorado Springs.
Now we're seeing the ball be put in play a lot by the Stompers. Ethan Johnson doing a good job of throwing strikes, but odd enough, both walks that Johnson's given up are now to Quinn Meaden at the top of the order.
Meaden at first. He has 2 steals. We've seen the Stompers be uber aggressive trying to take bags against Johnson. I don't know if you take the bat out of the scorching hot Max Handren's hand. Left-handed hitter. Meaden bluffs, doesn't go. It's way up and away. Tapia struck out. Meaden walked. So Quinn's at first base with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Stompers out hitting the Seagulls 6-2, leading on the scoreboard 2-0. There goes Meaden. Handren swings and pops it up. Third baseline. Whalen is going to drop the ball in fair territory. There's going to be a play at second. The throw is in time. The Seagulls get a wildly lucky break. Meaden running on the pitch, had to turn around when he saw a catchable pop fly. Whalen whiffs on it. It drops in fair territory, and it's a 5-6 fielder's choice.
Nick Sebastiani.
The shortstop Hansen covered and then went like a first baseman, stretched out. Stompers can't buy a break. Maybe that turns the tide in the Seagulls' favor.
And that's a tough one there. Quinn Meaden got all the way to second base on the stolen base, then had to go back, and then was just gassed out by the time he had to return to second base.
Sebastiani swings first pitch. Whalen has another chance, gloves it, and throws in time to get Sebastiani. And the Stompers getting runners on, just cannot get them in. Roman Raffelli takes over the play-by-play duties in the top of the 6th, moving right along. Sonoma on top 2-0.
The Stompers hold just a 2-run lead over the Seagulls here in the 6th. Sean McBroom takes the bump once again. He's already an out over his season long. And a bit of a delay here. A dirty look and a shake of the head from Dean Poteet behind home plate. He wants to start play, but they'll have to pause for Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, he's lucky he's not the umpire for a soccer match in England. They sing the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah. First pitch is popped up by Alan Ramirez, who's not too pleased with himself. He's retired on the P4. Nice catch there from Xander Silkin to start the 6th inning. And now the second time that Ramirez has popped out to Silkin at second base, did the same thing in the 3rd.
He's seen 3 pitches today, and he's been retired all 3 times.
Maybe take a couple, find a more hittable pitch if you're Alan Ramirez. Brings up Ethan Johnson, who's pitched 5 innings, into the 6th. DHing and doing the pitching, a bit of our CCL Shohei Ohtani. He's quickly behind to McBroom, 0-1, who delivers a slider in the zone, but it's chopped foul down the first base line. Now 0-2. McBroom doing just the same stuff here in the 6th as he has the first 5. Throwing it in the zone, getting ahead. Been dominant for Sonoma in a big game, a clinch game, and now just even more implications. The 0-2 cut on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Johnson. The second time he's K'd, and it's the 7th for McBroom this evening.
Yeah, that was just the 61st pitch from McBroom. You think Zach Pace is dreaming of the 7th?
It sure would be nice here if you can save a couple bullpen arms from having to throw. In this one, we were given a list of 4 names out of the pen tonight for Sonoma, but now, I mean, less innings than that even. You have what could be a really healthy bullpen down the stretch and into the playoffs early next week, but the first pitch hits Carson Chavez. He's now been hit twice. It seems when Ethan Johnson strikes out, Carson Chavez gets hit by a pitch the very next batter.
Yeah, and this is what you didn't want to have happen. You don't want Josh Hansen to be the tying run at any point in the ball game. That would have been a big out. Then you put Hansen leading off the 7th inning, and everything changes.
And we very nearly saw a game-tying 2-run shot from Caden Victorian. That was the final out of the 5th inning. McBroom, nice slider on the front door, gets strike number 1 inside to Hansen. That ball from Victorian ended the 5th, but that ball was crushed. Warning track in left, tracked down by Tapia. The 0-1 delivery from McBroom in the dirt. Nice block from Pulowski behind the plate. 2 gone in the 6th. Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. A packed house at Arnold. Thanks for joining us online. 1-1 from McBroom, fouled back 1-2. Now McBroom very much in the driver's seat here against Hansen. Just needs 1 strike to get out of the inning.
And that's the spot you want to be against these power hitters like Hansen, who can tie this game with just a swing. Jackson Bird, no home runs yet, but a guy that we know has home run power from the left side. This would be a big out if Sean can get it.
1-2 in the dirt, gets past Pulowski. He thought he had it in the glove, but it slipped under the webbing. So Chavez moves first to second on the passed ball. And quickly a runner in scoring position, 2-2 count. Hansen in search of his 7th RBI of the season.
Yeah, a lot of roster turnover for the Seagulls. They had a head coaching change. Mark Caviglia took over for Ryan Davis, and sort of a roster overhaul after that.
Season of up and downs for the Seagulls, looking to continue to play spoiler. 2-2 from McBroom, cut on and missed. Strike 3, down goes Hansen. Second strikeout of the inning. It's the 8th for McBroom's outing. And we'll head to the home half of the 6th. The Stompers looking to add some insurance here in Sonoma. It's Ethan Johnson to pitch the 6th. Both starters here in Sonoma pitch into the 6th. I don't know the last time this happened this season at Arnold Field. The Stompers haven't scored since the 6th pitch of this ball game, as Kieran mentioned a moment ago. That was a 2-run shot from Max Handren.
Feels like that happened just about every game at Arnold Field.
Xander Silkin hits the first pitch he sees into shallow left center field. It's a single down in front of Josh Hansen, leadoff runner aboard, and a leadoff runner that the Stompers would love to score here, get just a little bit of insurance. Maybe, you talk about, pushing, getting the ball rolling again. You can give it a nudge here in the 6th. Maybe it just goes tumbling down the hill, and Stompers are able to really lay it down on the Seagulls.
4th runner that's gotten aboard to start the inning for Sonoma. 4 out of 6, that's not bad. Just got to get him in.
Problem is you've only scored one of them. Cam Hegeman digs in. He's got a pair of singles. He was gunned down by Chavez behind the plate. They'll check back on Silkin first pitch. Hegeman shows bunt, puts it down foul behind home plate.
Love that decision. We talked on Wednesday about how when the Stompers offense went stagnant in the middle innings, we wanted them to do something to try and get it going again. Hegeman in this scenario could be bunting for a hit. At the very worst, you get that runner over. This is a move that I think Zach Pace has thought through over the past 48 hours.
0-1, they check back on Silkin. Yet to steal a bag with Sonoma, but that's obviously just, a week now he's been with the squad, joined last Friday.
Well, Zach Pace, over some of these games and some of these losses, says he feels like they get away from their offense.
The 0-1 hits Hegeman on the hand, and they'll say he didn't pull the bunt back.
Well, it's field. Let's see if there's a mark.
And they're going to show Dean Poteet. Had to quickly take the guard off, the glove off. I mean, interesting situation here. Not one that we haven't seen before. They're going to give him the base. It took a bit of a sail, and now Mark Caligvia out of the third base dugout. Doesn't seem too happy.
Yeah, and I think I wouldn't be too pleased if I was Mark Caviglia either. I would be livid if this call had gone against the Stompers for multiple reasons. I think Hegeman offered at the bunt, first of all. If it hits him in the hand's part of the bat. When he offered for the bunt, the pitch was above his head. Caviglia seems to have gotten a good enough explanation at least. No, he's going to get an umpire meeting. And also, it's tough to call that off the mark on a player's hand.
I would be very intrigued if whatever Gary Frieders and Rod Materi say rules this back, but it turns out to be the century mark for Sonoma, the 100th hit by pitch this season, and I'm going to be honest, I was close.
Nope, they called him back.
They called him back.
Oh, goodness. Dean Poteet's lost control of this situation. He put him at first base. He brought him back to home plate. He's putting him back at first base. He's coming back to home plate. I mean, Dean has to make a call and stick with it. Poteet said the first time this play began, he said Hegeman fouled the pitch off. Zach Pace and Cam Hegeman and Dean Poteet had a meeting. There was a mark on his hand. Then he reviewed it with the umpires. I don't know what just happened.
So Hegeman's back in the box. It's an 0-2 count. I guess they'll say it was a foul ball. Silkin leads off first. 0-2, no outs in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch outside, and I mean, we saw Dean Poteet frustrated with the Stompers in stadium antics.
It wasn't even the music over the PA. The fans were just singing too loud for him.
So it's a 1-2 now to Cam Hegeman. We'll have to wait on the century mark. Pitch chopped foul. Good battle here from Hegeman.
Cam hoping for a ball don't lie moment here. He thinks he should have first base.
Although I can't say he'd want to be hit by a pitch.
I think he'll take an RBI double instead.
Yeah.
And one where we didn't see too much of a fight from either Zach Pace or Cam Hageman after the reverse review, I guess we could call it.
1-2, they check back, and it's weird that we didn't see a lot of fight. I mean, it's not a game you want to get ejected, deal with whatever comes after that, especially when you just need to focus on winning ball games down the stretch. But if you're confident enough to show the umpire that there's a mark on your hand, it had to have hit you, unless that's just a really bold, call me out, I'm bluffing situation from Cam Hageman. 1-2, skips in over the head of Chavez, and Silken moves first to second.
And now Johnson climbing towards that 70 pitch mark, and there's a righty up in the bullpen. We were told Reese Appleby could go again today. That would be his third appearance in 5 days.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Reese. I can't say that I envy his elbow. Two now to Hageman. Runner on second, that's Xander Silken, who singled. Pitch from Johnson high, 3-2.
Maybe the layoff rattled Ethan Johnson a little bit. This is a crucial third run for Sonoma out at second base right now.
And he'd love to get just something on the board. A run doesn't, make or break this ball game, but it at least gets something going. Maybe sparks the offense. Payoff pitch to Hageman, fouled off. Good swing there. Pitch a little off the outside corner, but never want to get rung up on something like that.
Yeah, that was ball 4 if he keeps the bat on his shoulder. Instead, he gets to see an 8th pitch. Nice protect swing.
Yeah, it's a good protect swing. Not a spot. No outs, runner on second. Xander Silken needs to touch home plate if you're Sonoma. A strikeout here, shines the light at the end of the tunnel for Ethan Johnson here in the 6th. I'm sure he would love to get out of it just down a pair.
You wonder how quick Caviglia's hook is as well.
3-2 misses high, ball 4. Hageman ends up on first base no matter what. It's not the century mark for Sonoma. Not that they're rooting for their guys to be hit by pitches, but...
Now that's going to bring Cage Cansones to the hill. I don't know if this is the call. Someone's running down to see if the bullpen's ready. It might be. Big spot for San Francisco. You have to keep your team in striking distance here.
San Francisco mustered just 2 hits through 6 innings. The offense hasn't been there, but they hang just 2 back of the Stompers, fighting to not only clinch a CCL North playoff berth, but what could be a game out of clinching the 1 seed. Home field advantage could be huge. And they're going to leave in Johnson here.
Yeah, Nick Escalera waved his hat down to the bullpen, so it looks like their righty is ready. This is a big spot for Kyle Olympia. You're facing not a natural pitcher. This is probably his last pitching appearance before he goes to Missouri, and after that he's probably never pitching again. You have to take advantage.
Olympia digs in a single and a fly out this evening. Shows bunt first pitch, and it fouls off as he pulled it back. The Stompers, some sloppy bunting here in the 6th. Two on, no out. And Mark Caviglia out of the dugout again, very sharply with Dean Poteet. No argument, just a couple of head nods, and he's back.
What could that have been about?
I haven't a clue. Maybe clarifying, if the pitcher, who's also the DH, comes out, he's still going to hit. I don't know why you do that proactively, but...
Something about the Stompers bunting or bunt attempts.
Olympia shows bunt. Infield crashes. Bird in on the right side. It gets down the third base line, but skips foul. He popped it up. Nearly danger for Kyle Olympia.
Now that's now Hageman and Olympia back-to-back batters unsuccessful in their first 2 bunt attempts. And that's when you look at if the Stompers can't score this inning.
Stompers, if they're playing into next week, you know exactly what Monday practice will consist of. It's a whole lot of bunting. You got to have the small ball dialed down the stretch.
Stompers have Monday off either way. They'll either play a Tuesday wild card game for a chance to play for the North title, or in a dream scenario, win these next few bowl games and host that title game coming off of a bye.
Now 0-2 to Kyle Olympia, 3 strikeouts in his week with Sonoma. Johnson set, takes a look back, delivers home, chopped to the right side. Bird fields and will take it. Very close play at first base, took it himself. Olympia beat by about half a step, but it moves runners to second and third with 1 gone for Paul Lazul, who's been a power bat for Sonoma. A chance to do some real damage here.
Ethan Johnson staring into the dugout like he assumes a move's about to be made. He's just standing back behind the hill. Mark Caviglia is going to stay put.
Doesn't strike confidence from the mound to anyone at Arnold or watching online. Infield in to cut the run. Second and third, 1 gone. Paul Azul digs in from the left. First pitch from Johnson is hit high down the left field line. Galvin is camped, makes the catch, and Xander Silken runs for home. The play in time to get him. Dean Poteet rings him up. It goes F7-7-2. The put out to end the inning. Stompers, second and third, 1 out. They're unable to score. We'll head to the 7th here from Arnold Field. Sean McBroom's evening is over. He was spectacular for Sonoma. 6 shutout innings, just 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, and he gives way to Justin Jones, a .75 ERA through 12 innings pitched. That's 5 appearances, a couple of starts. Righty delivers home, first pitch fouled off by Jackson Bird. Justin Jones, 12 innings, as mentioned, 19 strikeouts, just 5 walks and 5 hits. Nearly double the strikeouts of the runners he's allowed on base. His last outing came against the Crawdads on Sunday. He went 4 innings, got the win, just 1 earned run, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. 0-1 to Bird. Nice hook on the outside edge. 0-2 now ahead of Jackson Bird.
Yeah, Jones was magnificent on Sunday. It shouldn't have been an earned run. There probably should have been an error charge to Kyle Olympia, which would be 12 innings without an earned run. Unfortunately, streak ends for Jones.
0-2, hit right back up the middle, fielded by Olympia. The throw in time to get Bird 6-3 to start the 7th. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a lot. I don't think it was an earned run, but not much damage done. I mean, a .75 ERA is still spectacular on the summer for Jones.
Yeah, this could be Jones for the 7th and the 8th, and then you look to Braden Gens, but Zach Pace loves to ride the hot hand. If Jones is cruising after 8, there'll definitely be a discussion of who gets the final 3 outs. Now, hopefully it's an 8-run ball game by that point.
First pitch to Waldvogel is hit hard up the middle in time. Nice play from Xander Silkin to throw out Derek Waldvogel. Quickly 2 gone in the 7th, and at this rate, I have no question it's going to be Jones in the 9th if he gets there.
Yeah, Silkin so smooth out there at second base. He got all the way around that baseball and a ball up the middle and snapped that throw off in time. Dave Hoke, the Stompers infield coach, has been enamored by Silkin's defense out at second base.
Brings up Finn Whalen, a pair of strikeouts against Sean McBroom. First pitch misses outside. It's a slider from Jones.
Yeah, I bet the Seagulls dugout was happy to see anybody but McBroom out there. Jones has been just as good.
Jones set, delivers, and he catches it as it comes right back. Have an inning, Justin Jones. Couple of ground balls right up the middle, and then a line drive that falls right into the leather. We'll head to the home half in the 7th. Sonoma leads the Seagulls 2-0. Bottom of the 7th, Sonoma leads the Seagulls by just 2 runs, and those came in the bottom of the 1st, looking desperately for run support here as Ethan Johnson takes the mound for the 7th inning. He's officially out-dueled Sean McBroom in the sense that he's gone longer. I don't think his outing was better. I mean, McBroom gave up just 2 hits, didn't allow a run. It's 7 hits on the tab for Ethan Johnson, but he's settled in after the 1st inning where 2 hits were put up, but then he quickly got out of it. He's behind Connor Pulowski, 2-0 here. We saw an arm ready in the bullpen last inning. He's still throwing softly, just keeping loose for the Seagulls. Stompers, a win in game tonight. If they don't get it, they'd fall to second place in the North with the Crawdads victory. 2-0 to Pulowski, misses outside and low, 3-0. Pulowski, a ground out and a fly out tonight. 15 walks and 15 strikeouts on the summer. A very even bat, good approach in the box. He's got 16 hits, a pair of doubles, 17 RBI. 3-0 from Johnson, catches the inside, third, 3-1. And driver's seat here from Connor Pulowski is an interesting spot. The Stompers need to do some damage sooner rather than later. It feels like you're just kind of exchanging body blows with the Seagulls. You don't want to get caught with a hook and fall. 3-1, misses outside ball 4. That's not a bad approach from Pulowski. You'll take getting on base here, though it's a concerning stat now. The Stompers have had 4 of the leadoff batters aboard, but they've only scored 1 of them. That's now the 5th. Desperately looking to score Pulowski. The 3rd walk issued by Ethan Johnson, but he will stay in the ball game to face Gabriel Tapia. Right on left in favor of the batter. Tapia, a strikeout and a ground out. Strikeout his 3rd of the summer. Of course, that's just a week with Sonoma. Pair hits per RBI. He shows bunt. He gets it down the 3rd base line. Pulowski, it's going to get under the glove of Whalen. Pulowski goes to second. The E5 couldn't have come at a better time for Sonoma. Now top of the order, 2 on, no outs. And if the Seagulls get out of this inning, it feels destined that they pull upset here.
And that's why you bunt, Roman. We talked about this after the game on Wednesday. The team lost all semblance of an offensive identity after taking that 4-0 lead. When you put the ball in play, when you bunt, you put pressure on the defense. In some situations, you make the pitcher field their position. In that time, it was a tough charging play for the 3rd baseman, Waldvogel. It turns into 2 on, nobody out. Now you've set a red-hot top of the order.
Top of the order due up. The corners come in to cut the run. The middle, not even in double play depth. Meaden shows bunt. He gets it down on the 3rd base line. Pitcher fields it, can't field it, and it's bases loaded. A pair of errors and a walk. Feels like Mark Caligvia and staff have overrun Johnson here. It was an E on him. It'll go E1 after the E5. He got to the baseball, tried to barehand it, and it rolled up his forearm. And I would assume a pitching change is made here, although the Seagulls still not out of the dugout to make the move. It's a mound visit from Chavez behind the dish instead. And it's the best bat for Sonoma digging in. Max Handren digs in a double, a home run, and a fielder's choice. He's been aboard all 3 times tonight. That home run, the scary stat here, might just swing the bat with hopes of sending Sonoma into a 6-run lead and what feels like a clinching scenario. Johnson set. First pitch to Handren. Hit high, but shallow right center field. It's caught by Hansen. They're going to send the runner home. That's Pulowski. He gets there in time, and now the ball gets past the cutoff man, Bird. It rolls into foul territory, picked up by the pitcher. 2nd and 3rd, run scores. Stompers add to the lead, 3-0.
And that's such a good job by the bottom of the order to set up the top. Max Handren gets a sac fly. That's his 3rd RBI of the game, 23rd of the season. And that's a smart approach. You just need 1 run in that spot. Yes, everyone in this ballpark wants your 2nd home run. They want a grand slam, but Zach Pace just wants the 1 run, heads up base running all around. Everybody moves up 90 feet. Now another sac fly, and you can really breathe a little easier at 4-0.
Nick Sebastiani digs in. He was red hot before the injury. He's put a couple of hard balls in play tonight, but still no hit. First pitch very well kept in front by Chavez, and the infield is fully in. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. You need the out at the plate or a strikeout here. Even a pop out on the infield would do the job, but I mean, with what we've seen from Matt Galvin in left and Derek Waldvogel in right, I don't know that a fly ball to the corners is a guaranteed run either.
Yeah, both Galvin and Waldvogel have thrown out a runner at the plate. Dave Hoke continues to be aggressive and heads up base running. Everybody took 90.
Right on right. Johnson in his 7th inning of work. Pitch to Sebastiani, misses high and in, 2-0. Nick Sebastiani, driver's seat, 14 RBI, a a double, a triple, and 4 long shots on the summer.
Should have had a sac fly back in the third inning. A perfect throw from Derek Waldvogel spoiled that idea.
Johnson set. Kicks the leg to Otis Sebastiani. Hit high and deep to left, but it's caught by Galvin. The runner's going to advance and score. That's Gabriel Tapia. Comes home for Sonoma. A 2-spot in the 7th extends the lead 4-0.
Yeah, and this is a great coaching adjustment by Zach Pace and perfectly executed by his players. They went completely away from the small ball in the middle innings. We've seen that all season long. The team gets complacent. They can't keep their foot on the gas, and that's what happened here from the 2nd to the 6th inning. But a leadoff walk, 2 bunts, that's what happens when you bunt. It's not easy to field a bunt, especially on this infield. That turns into 2 errors, and then the middle of the order, sac fly. RBI, RBI, now big spot for Silkin.
And a great bit of selfless baseball there. Your 2 and 3 holes, guys who have a lot of home runs. This one's shot hard through the right side of the infield. Xander Silkin is on base again. A pair of singles for him in his last 2 at-bats. Those in the 6th and 7th innings. Moves Medin to third. Now runners on the corners, 2 outs, and I think we will finally see a pitching change from the Seagulls. The motion has been made. A new arm enters, and we'll take a break here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Mark Zhu out of the bullpen for the Seagulls, with runners on the corners and Cam Hegeman at the plate.
Yeah, Zhu, a position player. He started the 9th inning on Wednesday in a 3-run ball game. He got Tapia to line out, gave up a single to Meaden, a ground out from Keys. He walked this man, Cam Hegeman.
Hegeman hits it softly into shallow center field. Ranging is Hansen and makes the grab to end the inning. 2 pitches and an out for Mark Zhu to end the 7th. Stompers add a pair on a walk, a couple of errors, and a couple of sac flies, as well as a single from Xander Silkin. We'll head to the top of the 8th here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Derek McGalvin leads off the top of the 8th, and Justin Jones resumes his outing. He got a 1-2-3 inning, including a comebacker that he just really let fall into his glove. First pitch from Jones to Galvin is a strike called on the outside corner by Dean Poteet. Galvin, a walk and a double from the 9 spot tonight. Stompers have struggled mightily against 9 holes in the last couple of weeks. 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. Top of the 8th underway here in Sonoma. Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. And a clinch game for Sonoma. 1-1, nice pitch on the outside edge. Two-seam fastball kicks through the back door. Now Galvin behind Jones, 1-2.
Yeah, now with the 4-run cushion, you'd love to just get to keeping Jones for now it's his next 6 outs.
1-2, nice block from Pulowski. Catches the pitch in the left-hand batter's box, 2-2. Sonoma extended the lead. It's now 4-0 over the Seagulls. 2-2 from Jones, high and out. Filler up 3-2.
Yeah, the Stompers getting those 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, so crucial, and they didn't even need the long ball. A couple of clankers that hit off the glove of the third baseman, and then the pitcher, you get those free bases, and it really helps.
Payoff pitch served into right at Meaden, and the first out is retired in the 8th. Rolls the lineup over to Caden Victorian, who struck out to lead off the ball game, flew out to center in the 3rd, and hit a ball hard and far in the 5th, but it was caught by Tapia in left. Digs in from the right. First pitch from Jones is hit into right. Meaden camped and makes the grab, 2 gone in the 8th.
2 quick outs this inning, outs on the last 2 pitches. Alan Ramirez has swung first pitch every at-bat. You gotta think he's taking, right?
Second baseman, number 7, Alan Ramirez.
An interesting spot here, especially if you're a Stompers fan. Zach Pace, Mike Nunez, Justin Jones. 2 really quick innings. Do you try to go 2 pitchers
Oh, absolutely.
tonight, save the arms?
Absolutely.
First pitch, he thought about a swing. He didn't, but it's called a strike anyways. Alan Ramirez behind 0-1. Pair of pop-outs to Xander Silken at second. He also grounded out to Max Handren at third. That was the second batter of this ball game. 0-1 misses outside.
We've been so unwilling to go to against anyway, even in true save situations. I mean, 4 runs is close. It's not a save situation. But I think you ride the hot hand in Jones, because you sort of already burned him for the weekend anyway.
1-1 high, 2-1 against a star closer for the Stompers. Earned himself a CCL showcase appearance just last week and recently committed to Stanford. One of 2 big commitments for Stompers, the other hitting Han to Texas Tech. 2-1 from Jones, hit hard into left field. It'll get down in front of Tapia, who's going to field it at the track, but it's extra bases with 2 outs in the 8th for Alan Ramirez.
Now, that's what happens when you take a pitch. You find one you like instead of just jumping at the first one you see.
Now batting, number 16.
That brings up
Ethan
3-hole hitter, the DH, who also pitched this ball game, Ethan Johnson. He's 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, and from the bump, we can close the book on him. 6 2/3, 8 hits, 4 runs, just 2 of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. And for a non-pitcher starting this ball game, he was spectacular for the Seagulls.
Excellent work.
I mean, he went 6 2/3. It's more than what you could ask for. Watches the first pitch outside, 1-0.
Seems like Dean's been giving that corner all night.
Doesn't give it there. Right on left, Jones and Johnson. 1-0 in the dirt, 2-0. Stompers in firm control here at Arnold Field. And what they hope is their 4th to last game at the friendly confines. 2-0 from Jones, outside 3-0, and I'm a bit frustrated with us that we mentioned, surely he'll get the 9th, and then he just slowly can't find the zone. 3-0 to Johnson, catches the outside corner for a strike.
Got 90 on the gun from Jones. That's a good pitch.
So 3-1 to Ethan Johnson. 19 hits on the year. He fouls this one back down the third base line, 3-2.
Now this would be a big out. You're behind Johnson, a powerful hitter, 3 balls and no strikes. You battle it back to 3-2. He breaks his bat on that one, clearly frustrated. This would be a big pitch from Jones.
So goes to get the new bat, payoff pitch situation. Runner on second, 2 gone here in the top of the 8th. Johnson has the new bat, gets some pine tar on it, takes a practice swing, and steps back in. 3-2 with Justin Jones. Runner on second, that's Alan Ramirez after a 2-out double. Jones set, lifts the leg, 3-2, fouled off down the third base line. Nice battle here from Johnson.
Yeah, I think even if Jones can get out of this inning with 1 run, arguably the conversation should be at no runs. I still think the 9th inning is his. 22 pitches for a guy that's been lengthened up to 60.
And if the Stompers hold on to win this one, it's not just managing the weekend, it's managing early next week the guys you don't want to burn because you might need him Tuesday or Wednesday. Payoff pitch fouled off once again. Jones' pitch count not concerning. He went 4 against Walnut Creek on Sunday. And in that game, he was the front half of what was just a 2-pitcher effort. David Howard came in for a really nice 5-inning,
Earned him co-stomper player of the week. Him and David combined for, at that point, the biggest win of the year.
So it's 3-2 again. Jones looking for his second complete inning of work. The pitch, called strike 3 on the outside corner. Ethan Johnson doesn't like it one bit, but Dean Poteet brings him up on a backwards K. We're through the road half of the 8th inning here in Sonoma. Stick around for the bottom half. Kyle Olympia leads off the home half of the 8th. First pitch misses from Mark Zhu. Also not a pitcher on the depth chart. Just a couple of position players getting the Seagulls through this one.
Yeah, Zhu hasn't pitched his last 2 seasons at San Francisco City College. This is just his second appearance. He faced 4 hitters, single walk. He got 2 outs. That was in the 9th inning of Wednesday's ball game. Jackson Bird had to come in and really lock that thing down.
1-0 to Olympia outside 2-0.
He throws like a position player.
3-0. And it's not anything complicated, just a over-the-shoulder toss on in. 3-0 to Olympia, outside ball 4.
Not a competitive pitch to Kyle, and here's where I want to see the Stompers aggressively send the runner. With a 4-run lead, you're trying to make it 5 or 6. I'm fine if you get thrown out at second base. Again, I'm not the coach.
Olympia yet to steal a bag. Excuse me, he stole his first Stomper bag in the 4th. That was after he singled. Stompers didn't score a run that inning. First pitch to Paul Azul hits him, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the century mark for Sonoma, the 100th batter hit by a pitch this season. If it sounds like I'm celebrating, I'm not, but a bit of history made here in Sonoma tonight.
Absolutely no celebration. That's probably a few too many for Zach Pace's liking, but we talked about how we want that last hit by pitch to go, and Zach Pace said, how about a curveball that just glances off him? And that's exactly what that was. That hit the front elbow guard of Lazul, who's going to exit the game for defensive and speed purposes, not for any sort of injury.
Yeah, so Trent Keys takes over to run at first base. 8 swiped bags on the year. Also had the non-CCL game walk-off last night. Nice little single with the infield in. First pitch is fouled back by Connor Pulowski. Fouls second one back, but into the glove of Chavez, now behind 0-2.
Now pitch running for the Sonoma Stompers, number 25, Trent Keys.
To Pulowski, hit softly into shallow center field. Victorian goes back, but it falls just behind the glove. They're going to get the out at second base and go to third for one. They don't get it there, but I mean, a near what you might think is a infield fly rule there, just in the outfield glass. Could Rod Materi call it there? I mean, it almost looked like Victorian pulled the glove back to let it drop.
I think that's much too far into the outfield. That's a bloop single in a really unlucky spot. Keys is erased, and there's now your setup runners at the corners.
Pulowski on first base after a fielder's choice. It goes 6-4. That puts out Keys at second base, but Olympia moves to third.
That's the second time that play where a pop-up drops has hurt Sonoma.
Pulowski takes off, but no throw. Keeps the runner at third. So now 2 on, 1 out. Both in scoring position, 4-0 Stompers looking to add on. Pitch inside to Tapia. 1 ball or so in, 2-1 the count.
Third stolen base for Pulowski.
Stompers faithful looking for a couple more here. Tapia hits it softly into shallow left field, and it's caught by Mac Galvin. Nice play. Had to come a long ways in to get that. To the top of the order we go. It's Quinn Meaden for his 5th at-bat here. He's been on all 4 times. A pair of walks, a single, and an error by Ethan Johnson. That was last inning. First pitch from Zoo is taken for a strike. A little hook there. Not shabby. It's strike 1 to Meaden.
I saw 65-mile-per-hour, flipped it towards home plate.
Second one hit foul down the third base line. Meaden behind 0-2 needs to battle. And this one hits Meaden. Not just 100 for Sonoma, but 101 on the season. And welcome to the Sonoma Stompers, Quinn Meaden. He hadn't been hit yet. Now he can truly call himself part of the 101 hit-by-pitch efforts.
Yeah, this is Handren's second consecutive at-bat with the bases loaded. That's an opposing manager's worst nightmare. Handren swung at the first pitch and produced a sac fly last time up.
First pitch to Handren, called for a strike. Another hook there from Mark Zoo. Kyle Olympia walked. He stands on third base. Connor Pulowski got on from a fielder's choice. That went 6-4. He stands on second. And the hit by pitch of Quinn Meaden just a moment ago puts him on first. 0-1 skips in and away from Chavez, but Olympia slams on the brakes. It'll keep the bases loaded.
Yeah, late read from Olympia. It kicked pretty far away from Carson Chavez, but at that point, it was too late and he had to head back.
So it's 1-1 to Max Handren. Mark Zoo from the mound. Another hook lands in. Handren thought it might have crossed a bit high.
I think the TrackMan system agrees with Max.
1-2. Handren will have to battle here in the bottom of the 8th. 1-2 from Zoo. Misses just low. And I think he might have thought he got another one from Dean Poteet, but it's 2-2.
Just flying that hook as many times as he can at 65. No action in the bullpen. It looks like Jones' ninth.
If he's not careful, it might end up over the fence like Handren's first pitch. This one hit hard right at Rod Materi, but play will resume. A run comes in to score. No out for the Seagulls. And you got to hope Rod Materi's all right. Hit him right on the upper leg there. A missile right at him. So I don't know how you scored that. I believe it's a single?
It's a single. It's much like if a ground ball hits a runner in play, it's a single. The runner is out here. It goes to a single for Max. 3-hit day again. And an RBI, actually, his fourth of the game.
So it keeps the bases loaded for Nick Sebastiani, who we've seen some home run power for 4 of those balls leaving the yard this season. Mark 2 from the stretch. First pitch fouled back by Nick Sebastiani. Out of play into the parking lot. Look out. Automobiles parked at Arnold Field. Mark 2's second pitch to Sebastiani. Catches the outside corner. Now 0-2 to Nick. He'll have to battle. 0-2, hit hard, gloved by Victorian, who's going to field throw across. In time to get Nick Sebastiani. A late call from Gary Frieders ends the home half of the 8th. The Stompers add a run of insurance. We'll head to the 9th inning in a clinch game scenario for Sonoma. Kieran Costa takes you through the final inning and the post-game show. Stick around for it here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network.
Get that champagne on ice. The Stompers are just 3 outs away from heading to the CCL North Postseason for the 2nd year in a row. And Justin Jones heads to the hill with a chance to do it. He would also pick up a save, working a 3rd inning. This game began with Sean McBroom, 6-inning pitch, 2 hits, no runs allowed. Now they turn things over to Jones, working in his final inning, looking to send the Stompers back to the promised land. Chavez, Hansen, and Bird in the 9th. That one's bounced to the shortstop. Olympia gets around it, snaps the throw to first in time. Trent Keys on the other end of it. He's in for Paul Lazul, 1 away. A packed house of Stomper fans ready to clinch a postseason berth. Sonoma now just 2 outs away. Zach Pace has been in charge of the Stompers. Now it's his 5th season in the California Collegiate League. The Stompers, no postseason the first 3 years. They make it last year. They fall 1 win away from taking on the South in the CCL Championship Series. Zach Pace and his coaching staff now just 2 outs away from heading to the postseason for the 2nd consecutive year. It's not an easy 2 outs, and Josh Hansen and Jackson Bird. Oh, 1 in there, 0-2. It's been a long, winding road for Sonoma, decimated by injuries. The middle infield of Colton Boardman and McCann Libby both leave. Brady Shannon, the league's home run leader, injured in the home run derby. Nick Santivani has led the league in strikeouts. He left for Fullerton. Jones misses away 1-2. Jaden Harper allowed just 1 earned run in 5 starts for Sonoma. He leaves the program as well midway through the summer. Hideon Hahn, a mainstay. He heads home for a little while before Texas Tech. But Zach Pace, through it all, withstanding the injuries, has put together quite a squad. This one sent to center, ranging over is Hegeman, and he makes the catch. You look at the field right now, just 2 of the Stompers on the diamond were on this team on opening day. Really, hats off to Zach Pace and the entire coaching staff. They've done a whole bunch of work to get this team where they are. And now they're just 1 out away from heading to the postseason.
Well, who else to be the potential final batter than Jackson Bird?
Jones to Bird. Outside. 1 ball and no strikes. And I mean, a year of turnover for Sonoma. Chase Anderson takes over as the general manager. Injuries galore, but standing strong. Sonoma fastball is high, 2-0. Jones looking to lock things down. Righty on lefty against Bird. Here it is. Jackson takes outside. Three balls and no strikes to the left-handed hitter Jackson Bird. Wide open stance for the UC Riverside lefty, and he takes a called strike 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike. Jones stares in for the sign and delivered. Bird swings and misses. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 9th inning. Justin Jones to Jackson Bird. The pitch, Bird hits this one to center. Hegeman chasing over, he's in the gap. He reaches up, he makes the catch. The Stomps are going dancing. For the 2nd year in a row, Sonoma's headed to the CCL North playoffs. Sonoma takes care of business. They improve to 23-15, and the Stompers will play in the 2025 postseason. Zach Pace and Mark Caviglia shake hands at home plate. 5 years in the California Collegiate League, and for the 2nd consecutive season, the postseason will include Sonoma. And Roman, it's been a long road to get here. There was points where the Stompers found themselves on the outside looking in early in the season. They've battled back. They hold the top spot. Fate in their own hands. Yeah, the playoffs are nice, but you have to dream of the 1 seed and the bye now.
And that's exactly what comes next for Sonoma. You get this one, that's step 1. You're in the playoffs confirmed. You can take that to the bank. Now, you need to go focus on winning your next 2 in hopes of not having to go down to St. Louis Obispo, over to Walnut Creek, whatever it may be. You have a lead, work with it, go beat a very beatable Philippines team, a team that you crushed earlier this season. Continue to play fundamental baseball, and it was a team effort tonight. Sean McBroom gave the Stompers 6 shutout innings. Justin Jones, magnificent out of the bullpen, 3 from him. The Anderson regime is headed to the postseason.
How about it?
He's 1-for-1, and a chance at more tomorrow night.
Yeah, Sean McBroom gets the victory. He gets his first win of note, and that was 6 shutout innings. Justin Jones picks up the save. That's his first save because he went 3 innings out of the bullpen. The Stompers take care of him, 5-0. They win the season series over San Francisco. They improve to 23-13. And now we take a look at the standings. The Stompers sit atop the North. 1 game behind are the Slow Blues and the Walnut Creek Crawdads. So job not even close to finished for Sonoma. They still have to take home victories over the weekend and secure the 1 seed. But for now, every member of the organization can take a little bit of a breath. Stompers will be included in the 2025 postseason. And this is the most Stomper way to get there, too. I mean, the Max Handren home run in the first, you get 2 runs on sac flies, 3 runs almost on sac flies. You get that line drive off the umpire. Sean McBroom to Justin Jones sends you to the playoffs. This one's got to feel good for Zach Pace.
Yeah, I mean, all that matters at the end of the day is the win column being filled. That's exactly what the Stompers get, and now just an opportunity to go extend this year. You did take care of business tonight. Now on to the Philippines, and it was unconventional. Sure, you didn't score in the majority of innings, but you got it back late to build some insurance, and the pitching was spectacular. That's what has gotten Sonoma this far in the season. We talked about the injury adversity, guys leaving for school, some of those pitchers, but the pitching has been spectacular for Sonoma all season long, leading the CCL in nearly every category. That's the mainstay for Zach Pace and all of Sonoma, and they need to continue through the weekend and into next week.
So the Stompers play the Philippines national team for the 2nd time. That's at 6:05 tomorrow. There's a whole lot more playoff implications to play out between now and then. But the only information you need is if the Stompers win on Saturday and the Stompers win on Sunday, they will host the CCL North title game on Wednesday. But those are 2 wins that you can't chalk up just yet. You'll have to find out tomorrow at the 5:50 pregame show and a 6:05 first pitch. The Stompers head to the postseason on the back of a magnificent outing from Sean McBroom. Stompers 5, Seagulls nothing. We'll see you tomorrow at 5:50 as the road to first place gets a whole lot easier for Sonoma. Congrats to our owner, John Sebastiano, general manager, Chase Anderson, and to Zach Pace and his entire coaching staff. 2nd consecutive year in the postseason. And for now, for everyone that helps make this broadcast run, our analytics team really working hard down the playoff hunt, getting us the numbers we need. And, of course, my broadcast partner, Roman Raffelli, Amy G, for coming back on. I'm Kieran Costa, signing off from Sonoma.